Hello everyone, welcome back to Cosmos Astro and part 5 of my observatory build. So in this video it's quite a pivotal moment where this turns from building site to what I could call something that resembles an observatory. So if I ever needed to get a shifty on with this build, it is definitely now into autumn and the weather is noticeably changing, so I really need to get this thing weather tight. First, I'm going to cover the fascia because I have redesigned it and for the better, I think. With my previous design on this, I used 9mm sheet hardwood ply and put that directly onto the framework of the roof line, and then I just stuck the cladding directly on top of that. And it worked, but I wasn't 100% happy with it. What I did was, first of all, I had to take all the cladding back off. I was quite surprised it actually all come off in one piece, so I was able to reuse it. I then used some breathable membrane, or roofing felt if you like. Basically it's waterproof on the outside, but it allows moisture to exit. Stuck that on to the framework, stapled that on using my newly purchased staple gun, and I then put these buttons on in various places. And this is 15mm thick by 36mm wide strip wood. And I'll give it a good coating and then just stick the cladding on top. Right, moving on to the redesign in the front here. I was very kindly given a window to put in here from one of my neighbours. So Davey, if you are watching, mate, thank you very much. Some true generosity there. What a gentleman you are. And the beauty of this is I can use the offcuts that I use for the side of the observatory to fit in. Now this redesign is not as complicated as it might sound. All I have to do is just take out these noggins which are secured to the sides, reposition the uprights about I think 10-15 centimeters either side, and then I've got some of this wood left over as well, so I just pre-cut some more noggins to fit around the top and the bottom of the window. Obviously reposition, recut the noggins, put them back in place and then fit the window. Over an hour's work there and looking good. I think I've earned a nice cup of tea break here. Nice dippy biscuit, bobbing. By the way, did anyone else dip the biscuits in the tea? I know I do. As far as I'm concerned, it's the law. It's nice and sturdy, even stronger than what it was before, to be fair. Added bonus here, yeah, it come with a key, and also it's just a push and open jobby. Open it up. It's a really nice window, to be honest. It'll be better when it gets all cleaned up. There is a slight gap around the edges. Nothing to worry about. It'll all get sealed up properly as you would any normal window. So before I crack on the front, I have done both sides and the rear, and obviously it's a bit of a tight gap, but I did leave enough room to work on this and on the fence. All to do with maintenance. Yeah, at some stage there is going to be maintenance need doing on the fence and the observatory. Be the fence first because this thing is falling apart. There's a bit more room on the rear. I'll just swip the camera around as you can see. But yeah, 3 sides done, and I will run you through how we've gone about doing this when I'm doing the front here. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm using this roofing felt, and it's from Chroma Building Products. It's Vent 3 Light, and it is advertised as roofing felt, but looking at all the sort of reviews and comments, people are using it for line the walls for like sheds and outbuildings. It's got good reviews, apparently really good stuff. So it comes in, I've got a 25-metre roll and done the whole observatory. Very little left over, so I didn't have to buy excess amounts for this. All I'm doing is secure it on. I'm using a staple gun. I got this from Amazon along with this. Pretty good little toy this actually. I know it's just a staple gun, but it hasn't let me down yet. It gets right in the wood, nice and flush. So I'm going to crack on with this. These are 1 metre width, so I'm going to have to do the bottom bit and then I'll do the top bit. I'm putting in some battens just over the membrane on each upright. When I put the cladding on, that's going to create a sort of separacy, a sort of void between the membrane and the cladding. Now, ideally, I wanted to go for 2 or 2.5 centimetres. I don't know what the standard is, but if I had to be careful how far I went out, because if I went too far, I was going to be coming out past the post. So to keep it all nice and tidy, I've struck a compromise. I've gone for 6 mil. I know that's not much of a gap, but that's what I'm doing. Now, to be honest, I've seen builds that, you know, they just stick the cladding straight on the membrane, and I know there's builds out there that they don't bother at all. I think what it boils down to is your personal preference and, you know, your own judgment, I suppose. First board ready to go on. I've used some offcuts of the Breatable Membrane. I've done this on all the sides. Basically how I've done this is I've put some adhesive on, stuck it against the brickwork, folded it over and just stapled it on the battens just to hold it in place. I've also put some adhesive on the base of the board, and when I put that on, all I've got to do is just put my fingertips underneath the inside of the board and just run along, making sure it's stuck on there. The reason I'm doing this is, first of all, I'm carrying on the theme of ventilation. This is definitely going to keep it vented. I'm trying to keep insects, and mainly the bigger insects. You know, you're not going to keep everything out, but I don't want anything big getting underneath and making a home. You know, chances are things are going to get in, gaps and that, you know, but it's just all about minimising it. It's also a cost-saving thing. I had this on hand. I didn't want to go out buying more stuff, and I saw someone online doing something similar. You know, I thought, yeah, why not? It's a good idea. Is it cowboy-ish? Big cowboy, yes, definitely. A DIY special at its best. Right, last board on, and oh, it's looking sweet. I'm going to be putting some sealant in these gaps and that, but that is looking nice and flush. Some little finishing bits to do. There's a bit of felt just sticking out here. I'll just have to check. Well, there's not much more I can actually get on with now. I'm waiting on the delivery for the roofing material, so that's not going to get here for a few days yet. To be fair, I won't be able to do it until next weekend anyway, because I am at work, so and obviously hoping the weather stays okay so I can get that done. So bit of a clean up duty now. I'm going to do that and yeah, relax for the rest of the night, I think. Well, finally got the delivery issues here to get this all finished off, just in the nick of time as well, I think. I'm not joking, we had an absolute hammering of rain. This thing got absolutely drenched. Really good test for it, and I'm pleased to say not one drop of water has ended up in the observatory, so I've definitely done something right somewhere along the line. So I think we'll start off with the door. I tell you what, I would freak out if someone actually opened that door right now. So what have I done with this? As you heard from that audible click there, I have fitted a lock on there. I've also got a handle. As hanging doors goes, I'm quite happy how this turned out. It's not sticking on anything. It's something I've never had a strong point for, to be honest, hanging these things. They always seem to go wrong. Of course, you can as you can see, it opens inwards. Usually you get the observatory doors will open outwards, and that's usually due to lack of space, so it doesn't bang into things, as you can see. I'm stood in between the mount and the doorway, and there's plenty of clearance on this. I'm not planning on getting a massive scope at all, to be honest. You know, if I did choose to though, I may have to redress that, you know, but for now I am happy with that. So at this point I want to throw a little tip your direction if you are building your own observatory or planning to build. So I factor in door sizes early on in the build or the planning stage. Although I did plan what size door I wanted, what height and all that, it didn't even register into my brain that it would become a problem when I come to get the door, and I really struggled to find one that would fit. And I'm not joking, I had to trim the backside out of this door to get it to fit, and I really did nearly come a cropper. I was nearly going to have to build my own custom made door, which would just been a lot of time and a lot of effort, to be honest, and might not have gone right. I've put on the trimming in, the majority is done. There's a couple of bits on the far end and one bit on the side yet to be done. I'll get round to doing it at some stage. Didn't take long to get on anyway. It's hiding all them sins underneath, of course. I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure on it. I don't know if it's the colour or what, I don't know. We'll see over the winter, it might weather nice, but you know, ultimately it's on, it's there, and it's something tidy. I've installed a gutter system, down pipe with this water catcher. This is fixed to the main body of the observatory, and then I've got this angled down pipe which is still a little loose. It needs to be permanently fixed on, which another little job that I've got to do, and obviously the gutter all fixed on that. And how this works is I've got about a centimetre gap between this water catcher and the down pipe here, so when the roof rolls off it doesn't catch. Moving on top here, went for a rubber roof membrane. This stuff's 1.5mm thick stuff. Come with a kit, so come with all the trimmings, corner bits, nails, adhesives, and even come with some scissors as well. Really easy to install. Did it all by myself. It was all one piece, but yeah, quite happy with it. It's a nice tidy finish. Apparently it's got a 50-year guarantee and it's very low maintenance, so you know, yet to be seen, of course, but all in all I'm very happy with this. Other little things that I've done inside here, I've fitted some Twisty hooks. I've seen them on many of an observatory build. Just when I'm finished I can lock the roof off. I've got two on each side. I've also fitted some handles, one on the door side and one up here for ease when you're pulling the roof on and off. Just on that note, actually, don't get me wrong, yeah, it's really smooth, it's easy to pull on and off, but if I was to do this again, I'd probably use light materials. I've seen some builds where you can quite literally push the roof on and off with one finger, which is really impressive, by the way, I think. But yeah, if I was to do it again, I'd maybe make it lighter. Yeah, bit of food for thought, I suppose. While the roof is off, I'll just show you the this part of the observatory, as you can see. Like I mentioned, the trimming still needs to go on. And that's what it looks like when the roof is rolled off. See, there's the roof there. Nothing special, yeah. I just framed it out. I've done exactly what I have done with the rest of the build. I've put the felt on, and the battens and the cladding on top of that. So a view from a bit closer. So the roof line there. I've put in some, just some draft excluder brushes I've put in. So as you can see from the back and side view, when I close it, the brushes just go over the cladding there, and on the side it just slots in to where I've put the trimming, creating a nice tidy finish. So I think anyway. So I'm also thinking of putting these brushes on the under sides, and also around where the rail system is, around the beams. And this is just to, again, just to prevent really big bugs. I know in the summer bees and wasps like to get in the cracks like this, so I don't want them getting in at all if I can help it. Last but not least, I have run some electrical cable. This is armoured cable. I think you're supposed to run armoured cable when it's outside anyway. So that's going out. I've left enough in here to get it terminated. So here it is on the other end here. Poking out, just wrapped it up in placky bags. Some days I'm going to run it up the wall and get it in the house and get it all terminated up once I get a chance. But I think I mentioned it in part 2 when I was laying the foundations. I capped it off in the greenhouse here. I had breaking the weather, so I thought, you know what, before winter really sets in, I'll get this all dug out and get the ductwork put in. So there it is. This one's going to be for data cable. Well, apart from the odd thing to do, nothing stopped me from doing first light, I think. And I really can't wait to share that moment with you guys. I really can't. Of course, it'll be running on temporary power for the time being, until I get the electric sorted. Well, I'll be how it's all turned out. Okay, I'm going to finish off with that part of the video where I share with you how much the entire build has cost. Before I do so, I want to show you a couple of designs for a bit of comparison. Now, the first design I'm going to go for here is the next dome. Now, I know this isn't a roll-off roof design, very, very different, but nearly was a reality. To the point where I actually chalked this out on the ground. Now the footprint for this is pretty much similar to what I've already built, height and diameter wise, apart from it's more circular in design, of course. So if you wanted one of these, it would cost in the $3,295 US. In pounds, that is 2,000, or in the region 2,950. So let's go a bit closer to home here, and there's no reason why I've picked this company. It was the first one I've come across that the standard prices were very clear. It's a UK based company, and the designs on here look quite nice. I'm not gonna lie, lovely. Now, what do you get with the price of this? Well, first of all, you get this built in a couple of days, where it took me quite a few months to get mine built. And that's the way it goes. I'm not a company, on a time limit as such. So, that's, if you can put up with the time difference, and you can build your own observatory, I would definitely do it, But if you're not able to do it, you've got to go for these sort of options. So, I'm going to pick on the 9x9 foot, and now mine's 9x8. So your prices in the region of, I suppose. So to pay for a 9x9 observatory, I'll be looking at £4,650. In US dollars, that's in the region of 5,200. Quite a lot of money. And now, big question is, what did I pay for mine? Well, it was in the region of £2,850, and that's 3,180-ish US dollars in this current exchange rate. Quite a bit of saving. Now, there is one thing in common for both of these designs, or both of these companies, is first of all, they do supply piers, but you have to pay extra for them, but they don't supply the platform for these to go on. You'd have to do that and get it done yourself. So of course, extra cost on top of them prices. Have I saved a lot? Yes, definitely. At a price of, well, it's took a little longer than getting a company and doing it for you. Would I buy one of these? Definitely. They look lovely. If I had the money and I couldn't do it myself, I'd save up and get one of these. But there's nothing wrong with what I've done. And I think what an experience. I don't regret building it myself. The price that I've reflected there doesn't include miscellaneous items. Things like screws, nails, adhesives, I didn't include them. I suppose you can maybe add another £50-60 on top of that cost. It's things you don't really think of. At least I didn't factor that in. But I'm happy with that price.
you know, the current economic climate as well as dictated prices, where if I built this a year ago, I'd probably maybe save £300-400. So is it truly finished? Not by a long stretch. Loads still to do on it, and probably going to keep me busy for the next couple of years. And of course I'll be sharing that with you guys along the way. So, finish off. Thank you so much for everyone's kind generosity or offers of stuff. Some great input, amazing ideas that was thrown my direction. You all know who you are. Thank you very much. And just a general thank you to all for supporting the channel. You are all amazing. So, look forward to sharing my first light. Just need a clear sky. When that happens is anyone's guess. And on that note, take care everyone. Clear skies. And of course, till next time, bye for now.